What you're looking at now is called the document solution. Now, the document solution is a very powerful but very easy to use document storage system. And what do I mean by that? Well, in an office you have faxes and there are emails, there are pieces of paper, there are x-rays, there are MRIs, there are notes that come in. There are all kinds of things that you end up storing in files. Well, with Document Solution, you no longer have to store it in a paper filing system because Document Solution will store all of your emails that come in, all of your faxes. If anybody comes in with a piece of paper, you can just scan it and store it. If any attachments are in your emails, they can be stored. You can do digital x-rays, MRIs, all that sort of thing can be stored here in Document Solution, and it's actually very simple to use. In the upper left-hand corner, we see the different mailboxes. This is for your, like your in-basket and so on, for your email and your faxes. You don't actually need a separate fax machine, and you don't use separate email software. It's all built into here. You can have email accounts for different users. You can have it for the whole office. You can drag email between them. You can do things like that. This next area right down here where it says Documents, here you can have different kinds of documents stored. And I could come into a particular area and choose certain documents or put documents in different places. So like maybe you have certain exercise sheets that you want to hand out, or you have a write-up on using, I don't know, apple juice therapy for softening of gallstones, something along those lines. Well, you can scan those or pull the Word document in or whatever and store them here. And then you can just select the document, come up over in this part, hit send, and send it as an email or fax or print it or however you want to send it to somebody. So it's a very convenient storage system for these documents, and you can have as many different folders and things there as you want. The next area down over here on the left is the address book, and here you can choose patients or users or contacts or providers or whoever you want. I could come down to here and click on patients and then click on today, and in the window down here it's only going to show me the patients who are scheduled to come in today. This is the full list. I can look at who came in tomorrow. I mean, there's different ways to look at it. When you click on a patient or on their claim, it's going to show you all of the documents here that are associated with that patient file. In other words, these are all the things that are in their file folder. I can click on something and I can get a view of it down below. I can change the size, by the way, of all these windows. And this happens to be a SOAP note directly from Documenter. And this is actually the last SOAP that we made in Documenter, in the Documenter part of the demonstration. I can double click on it up here and pull it up full screen if I would like, and there it is. I can see exactly what was written, but I can't change it here. This is a storage place, so this is not changeable. I can do other things too. I could have here is an x-ray, there's an MRI, but anyway, I can go into the x-ray. I could say let's go up full screen, so there's full screen size. I can change the contrast, and you'll see there I'm going to lighten it more than I need, or change the contrast there. See there? I can go back down to something. There we go. I can do things like magnify. I can zoom in there, you see, on something. I can come down and I can measure. I can say, what is the distance between here, and there we go. All right. I can do things like take this and I can switch it and go hot. Or I can go black and white inverted, which can be an interesting way to view it. Or I can actually come in here and I can go hot inverted. And like I said, you can do this whether it be an x-ray, whether it be an MRI, whatever it is, as long as this is the native DICOM. See right up here it says DCM, which is a DICOM type format. Now a lot of people ask, how do you get those DICOM images? Well, those are actually directly from digital x-ray machines. So you get them from the hospital, maybe on a CD, or you get them from a radiology department, or if you have your own, DICOM producing digital x-ray type machine. Now it stores many different file formats from Word documents and so on, but here's another example. I can go in and these are a document that's been scanned. So I can come in and here's a scan document and I can change its size and so on. So as you can tell, it looks very nice even being scanned. You can also store things like pictures. If I had a picture, let's see, here's a picture. And there we go. So here's a picture I had scanned. And I can zoom in on this picture and so on. And that happens to be at a convention I was at on Maui. You can see I was working very, very hard there. Anyway, this was a way to store, you know, if you take a picture of the patient, you take a picture of anything, or even if you take a picture of your x-ray or scan your x-rays, you can put them in here. And then there are tools available down here at the bottom where I can actually go in and I can edit. And here we go, and we have the ability to image edit and format and change text and font sizes, and I can change and draw lines and things like that. So if I want to take things, I can even say I would like to take this one, this one, this one, not that one, this. I want to take all those different documents. I can take those and I can send them as an email, or I can send them as a fax, or I can attach them all together onto one document. Now the program also has things like alerts built in, and you'll see that there's a high priority alert here, and if I go to my inbox, well, here it is. And up here it let me know that I had that. I can control my scanner from here. See, I can come up here to new scan, and I can come down and I can, you know, attach a file, or I can scan. It'll even allow me to pick which scanner, if there's multiple ones here on my network, which one I want to use. So it controls all the scanning inside. Here's the HP scanning when it's getting prepared and so on, which I'll go ahead and stop that. I can do things like that. I can have faxes, and there's an entire fax server that's actually built in that allows you to run and operate all your faxes. So your computer becomes your fax machine instead of having a separate fax. So really what I'm getting at here, without getting into too much detail and so on, is that the program itself will take care of your faxes, your emails, your scans, your different documents. Basically, it really moves you towards that paperless office. And people have asked me, well, you know, what kind of areas does that, you know, improve? Well, all the time you spend having to file paper, you're filing x-rays, then anyone asks for it back in the exam room, for example, you don't have to run and go grab the file and run it back there. So it gets rid of all that staff time. Plus it gets rid of all the expense of all the file folders, this expense of, you know, having to have a filing cabinet and the location and the space that it takes up. It gets it faster for you to send it to other people. If you need to email something to them, it's very quick to just go ahead and email it. Or to fax it, it's faster. And if you receive a fax and then need to email it to somebody, it's much faster to receive the fax, not have to print it and scan it and attach it, which can take 8 or 9 minutes. No, it's much faster to receive the fax, right? I can just receive a fax, click send as an email, and it will convert all that over to being an email. And you don't have to do anything else. I can also save documents right as a PDF so they're not changeable. I can save my Word documents either in a changeable format or a non-changeable format. So it's a very versatile paperless documentation and management system. So basically what this does is takes your office to the next step of being virtually paperless. And you'll of course reap all the rewards that go along with being virtually paperless.